Hello, welcome back to the Mindtrek.net game server. I'm again over at the Norway Build. I wanted to give you guys a quick update on what Mad, Squirrel, and I have done since the last video. A lot of the decks have now been mapped out. A few more have to be done yet, but they're getting done. iPanic is placed in, well, excuse me, Matt has placed in the iPanic Ender Egg astrophysics or metrics lab or whatever, stellar cartography, whatever it is. Some more work has been done on the hangar. I would go into gamma bright, but I turned the gamma bright off, but then it'd get really dark in here. But we've got some really interesting lighting effects going on by accident that are kind of cool. Mad seemed pretty excited about them. I'll go ahead and turn this on. There's a little bit of chat going on that I'm just trying to avoid. So that's why I'm running around in this view. Anywho, yeah, the chat started up just as I started recording, so my luck. There are still areas of the ship that haven't been prioritized yet. These will probably all be crew quarters or something, probably crew quarters. They're all pretty sizable, so they should be decked out for crew quarters. The basic part of the the basic part of the computer core is in. Some more work has been done back here at the hangar slash engineering slash whatever you want to call it. Mad put a lot of work into the engineering area. He's routed the conduits, and I came through and I did some more work over here on this side. They can rip it all out if they want, but basically I had to do that in order to kind of interconnect these Jeffries tubes in, but it can all be taken out if need be. There's a big section down here for deuterium, or not antimatter, but whatever else, plasma, warp plasma, whatever gets injected into it. And I noticed up here there was a spot set aside for something called deuterium injection. Okay, cool. I think if we could get away with, because I don't think you'll be able to inject anything to the top of the core. I think everything will probably have to be injected down here at the bottom or the sides or whatever, how it works. But yeah, you got to have something injected in here, something injected in here that combine here. Yeah, so I guess we're going to have to figure out a way to do that. I could reroute this corridor and give this thing 2 stories to work with, which is something we could easily do. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to reroute that corridor. That way this Jeffries tube comes out into like a little engineering area. Anywho, I also came through here and set up the pod system. I haven't finished all the connections to it yet, but this basically is the main thing. If the system has to be jettisoned, this will decouple from it and it'll spit the tanks out through the bottom here. And there'll be one on this side, one on that side, and then these will be connected. They're kind of like a floater, kind of like the thing you used to set on top of an old record player, and they just connect down and couple with it and suck all the good stuff out and feed it up to the warp core for the ejector and stuff. Run up here real quick. Getting some of the back wall stuff done. I'm sure like all this area in here will be excuse me, secured for the door. Yeah, I get a frog in my throat the moment I start recording. It happens every time. Don't know why. I have to finish macking. In fact, I'll do that right now. Hopefully they're done chatting. Nope. They are not done chatting yet. But this ship actually has a lot of real estate. Excuse me, I'm going to clear my throat real quick. You can watch me stand here do nothing. And with that, this ship has a lot of real estate in it, and really a lot more than I think any of us had actually anticipated. So we're trying our best to come up with things to do with it, and yeah, lots and lots of stuff to work on. Hopefully I can get somebody like the Bomb or somebody in here to work on these impulse engines if iPanic isn't back from holiday. I think that'd be a good use for because the Bomb, we want to get the Bomb going on it, helping us on this. We just couldn't use him right off the bat because we'd all sat down and discussed, and he wasn't he wasn't available for the discussion at the time. So he wasn't up to speed what we wanted to do or how we wanted to do it. So we just figured get the basics out of the way, then get people invited into the build team, and have them help us out. Now that we're getting closer to that goal, we should be able to start having more and more people working on this. at least doing walls, setting up rooms, arranging things, finding errors and fixing things. I don't know what the heck I intended for this. Maybe it's just me to get down. Yeah, but for the most part, all the Jeffries tubes are laid out, and all the turboliths are all laid out now. So, yeah, this was kind of a pain. I tell you, I worked on this for good 8 hours last night. Just plodding along, trying to figure stuff out, make sure everything worked. These tubes are a little going to take a little bit of learning, to say the least. Reason being is the ship is elongated, and it's kind of hard to explain how everything gets to work, because you don't want it to bisect and resect and all that stuff. But they all interconnect. They all have their own little unique things. You got your main ones, and then you got your secondaries and your tributaries, and so on and so forth. The main ones, of course, are the ones that run along the top and along the bottom and the main center columns. From those, you can get to everything on the ship. So, same thing with the Jeffries tubes. You can get all over the ship with the Jeffries tubes now, which is cool. I like my Jeffries tubes. Like I'm not. But what's cool is, let's run down this one here. Found a nice little section of the ship that has a really nice open feel to it. Kind of reminds me of the rafters above the gymnasium at the high school I used to go to. See if I can even work my way over to it from here. I should be able to. I should be able to work my way over to it from here. Actually, yeah, because come through, yeah. Maybe it's one more down. Yeah, we can get to it from here if we want. You can also get to it from the top part as well, but this is much easier to do it. Because all that other one will do is bring us down right to there. Come through here. Enter the double room here. Go up the ladder. Walk along the mad squirrel. Come up here. Boom. Check it out. Yeah, neat. Nice long Jeffries tube to the back impulse engine, and then I got this little section here for a crossover. So, yep, kind of neat. Yeah, it'll be like a door / crossover system. Then down here will be like door functions and stuff like that. Just this will linear. I just have this brown there right now to kind of show where the wall boundaries will be, corridor boundaries. Matt also adopted a space for a nice sized arboretum back here. A lot more space back there than we thought. That's kind of cool. So, yeah, I've been plottering along here, and nice idea there for those consoles. And it just occurred to me, man, there is so much real estate on this ship. Transporters, auxiliary transporters, main transporters. I'm not sure what's going to go in here yet. Sick bay outline is set up. These I think are bio beds. Morgue right in there. Other little things. There'll be more. This will probably be the main medical science deck, so there'll be a lot of science labs and stuff through here, and then there's some more back on one of the other decks, either up or I think it's down lower, but probably down lower. Yep, down through here. There'll be more science stuff down through here and all this other stuff, but I'm going through here and I'm setting these up, and I'm thinking these might be crew quarters, larger crew quarters, because they're right on the hall and they already have a window in one of them, so I'm thinking I'll just make these into crew quarters. Then we have our transporter thingamajiggy here, and then our little stairwell here. One thing I do have to do is I do have to put a forward gantry system in, or gangway system, not gantry, gangway system in, and I gotta be careful that I don't go right through the center of sick bay here. But this is the main bridge. It has its own little gantry down to here, and it's a sealed gantry, so they have a little room in there and it seals off. So I'm thinking have it come around here and possibly, you know, try to tie it in somewhere along this route here. So I could even probably move it a little bit further to the side of the ship. Like you can see, make sure we're on the right deck here. Yeah, that little area right here. I'm thinking, you know, if I do it, I could probably get away with it right here. Let's see if we can get all the way down. Yeah, we can go down a little bit further. Yeah, works there. And then of course this is a larger that hasn't been incorporated yet. Yeah, we could do it here as well. Yeah, this would work as well. It's just a Jeffries tube. And there's this again. Bottom of the ship. Alright, so we might be able to put a gantry right there. And I'll go ahead and plan to put one there and see if I can get it all worked out and stuff. Gantry again. Gangway. I don't think this ship lands. Somebody was saying the ship has to be able to fly into the atmosphere. And that's why it has this big skid, is that it lands on water. I don't think it's gonna land. It's not a submarine. It's not gonna land and float through water or any of that stuff. They want landing gear. We've got room to put landing gear in it. I'm gonna leave that up to Matt and I Panic. As you can see, I've got some leftover flooring stuff I gotta remove. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that to I Panic and Matt as to whether or not they want it to land or go on water or whatever. I also was told that the ship is mainly crewed by aquatic races of Starfleet. That it's an aquatic vessel, hence it lands on water, and the crew of it have these big openings. They're like big whales that float around. That's why it doesn't have very many windows, because there's not very many human compartments on the ship. If there weren't very many human compartments on the ship, then why are there escape pods? I'm just saying. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, it's not a... what it is, it's an upside down... It's a cannon fodder ship. First and foremost, they just made this ship so they could blow it up in First Contact. That was it. They just needed some ships to blow up in First Contact. That's where the Steam Runner, the Saber, and the Norway all came in. That's the ones you see, and of course the Akira. That's where they're just ships. Blow them up, you know. And that was all that they were designed for. We've taken ownership of the Saber, the Steam Runner, and now the Norway here. And since there's very little information on in all three of these ships, that era of ship, we can pretty much do what we want with them. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to make this ship here part of some aquatic Starfleet race. Nice suggestion and everything else, but no. Now, granted, if you want to make your own aquatic race starship with water hallways and pathways and all that stuff, feel free to do it. Please, by all means, make a big water tank inside of this and put it in space. God bless you. Fish need to explore space too. So, anyways, and another point was set that the ship has an advanced deflector that's designed to shoot a warp bubble out to the front of the ship that the ship slips into, and that those warp nacelles in the back, the warp core is actually right behind the this, according to the drawings that they have. I've looked on the internet. I have never seen the warp core up here behind the deflector dish. There, of course, is room for it. If you ever wanted to put one there, you could easily do it. But I've never seen any drawings of it. So, and as far as this thing having advanced warp drive where they shoot the field out in front of it, and I've never heard of that. I've heard of slipstream drive, but I'm pretty sure the ship wasn't equipped with slipstream drive, because the era just wouldn't have it. Even post Nemesis, I don't think this ship was equipped with slipstream drive. Again, we have 4 or 5 cutaways, and it always puts the warp core back where it's at. So, and that's where the team wanted it, so that's where she's at. Yeah. With those two things addressed, what else did I do? Oh yeah, okay. We mentioned the dragon egg there. I went ahead and moved this deck up 1 because it's not needed any lower than this. I would have loved to move it up here, but this is part of the deflector, and it has these lights and stuff on it, so it's best to include it into the deflector room itself. That is a huge amount of space for the deflector. Huge. 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 If push comes to shove, I can add an extra corridor along the front here, which I might do anyways, because really, I don't know. Anyways, all the power taps and leads and stuff are been routed pretty much through the ship. So they run along the inner side of on both rails through here to this, and then up and down the posts, and then into here through this area here. I just haven't routed it yet, but it's there. And so the power gets to this system. It'll get to the sensors forward here by routing along the side of the ship on the underside through that area there, all the way back to through the deuterium tanks into the warp area. And you can see part of it routing here, and it's pretty much set up. So there's another one somewhere in here, but I think it's on the other side of that. It's already been routed all the way forward. So this has power. We have power all the way up to the systems up here. I believe yep, there it is. We have power all the way up to the systems up here, and all the other good stuff. So they're all getting routed. It's been kind of tedious, as these builds usually are, but once the pattern's in, the power distribution systems or EPS systems are all routed and all that stuff. Yeah. Probably get people over here to start building her out. I'm trying to, as I go and I think about it, set up the crew quarters and things like that, because I don't know the actual crew complement of the ship, but a ship this size is probably going to have a few hundred people on it easily. So I've been setting up, as I go, I've been setting up crew quarters. I think these will probably be labs related to the sensor, or to the sensor thing up here and the deflector grid. I don't know yet, but those are definitely labs over there. These will probably be labs. Those will probably be labs. Labs. There are going to be a ton of labs. That should make him heller happy. He loves labs. Labs. And to be honest with you, I think there's more real estate inside of this ship here than there is in the entirety of the Enterprise C build, because it's just a god-awful amount of room. Very interesting ship. You know, somebody, I was just joking around. I was talking to, we should have had this deflector go all the way through the center of the ship, just like an Easter egg core, and then have it go all the way out to the back to the warp core, and make it like a big wave motion gun, and then the discussion devolved from there. It's a science vessel. It's not a warship. Although it will be able to defend itself very easily. That's what we could do. We could look to see if we can put an aft photon torpedo launcher in here somewhere. We actually have room for one. I saw we have plenty of room. We just got to figure out where that room could be at. Back here above the warp nacelle, so it'd have to be in this section up here. Right here. Screw it. We can put it right here. We got an aft torpedo launcher right here, folks. Beep, beep, beep. Right there. Aft photon torpedo launcher, courtesy of Atrocities. Yeehaw! We pack heat, baby. Look at that nacelle. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. I was just thinking, as a detail thing, add different colors to the underside of these ribbings. Highlight these ribbings like with another shell, and then kind of come along the edge here to kind of give it a fin look. I don't know. I'll dink around with that. That's actually kind of cool. Each leading edge, make it a little bit lighter than the material around it, and then kind of follow the curve where the leading edge disappears onto the side, up into the upper hull, and to get this nice little fin look to it, like a radiator look. It won't be able, of course, the fins all go like that, but we'll get that nice little radiator look at the corners of each one of those. They look kind of neat. I might just do that. I might dink around with that. I should have, in retrospect, added some more escape pods, but how many people? Quite a few. There are a lot of rooms through here. Of course, in the drawings you don't see windows through here, but creative license. Why the hell not? They're transparent aluminum, so they look like part of the hull, but you can see through them. Of course, you got the big cargo bay thing there, and you got your big shuttle bay down there, and yeah, it's just one of those fun builds. Hopefully sooner than later we'll have it done. at least mapped out. Once it's mapped out, most of the key systems are located and placed in as to where they're going to go. The rest of it is just like with any build, it just takes time and attention to detail. There are some crew quarters that all they have are just a room with a bathroom and a bathroom room and a bathroom. Those are basically the bed and the tables. They're all the bedroom and the living space are all one area. So that's a smaller area. But at any expense, thank you for watching, and hope to see you again soon on the Mindtrack.net game server. Bye bye.